We thank you, Lord, for the beautiful 18 years that you blessed us with him. Thank you for the joy he brought not only to our family, but also to his friends and everyone in the community whose lives he touched. Nolan had such a gentle, calming spirit about him. He had a way of making people feel seen, welcome, and valued. He could lift your confidence with just a few words and make you feel like you belonged. If you ever had the privilege of meeting our son Nolan or calling him a friend, then you experienced a glimpse of God's love through him.
Nolan Wells was murdered. Second autopsy came in, and it showed body parts removed, his throat removed. He had red markings on the back of his head. Nolan Wells, he was murdered. And they took his life. There's still some more investigation going on, but we know what it is. I don't know how much more investigation can take place. His life was taken. Body parts removed, throat removed, red markings on the back of his head. He was murdered. I don't care what anybody says. The evidence is right there. And shout out to Nancy Grace. She's speaking out. And she gonna get to the bottom of it as well. Yeah. I'm praying for his family, for sure.
For this case, we sought out the very best, and we are proud to be working with the very best.
Before we start to go over the preliminary findings from the independent autopsy, we will hear from Attorney Lisa Park to tell you about who was the forensic pathologist who conducted the autopsy.
Roger Mitchell could not join us today, but we felt it important before we reveal and unfold this report that you understand who conducted this autopsy. Roger Mitchell is a physician and board-certified forensic pathologist with 2 decades of experience. He currently serves as the president of the National Medical Association, which is the oldest and largest group of Black physicians in the U.S. Most recently, he also served as president of Howard University Hospital, chief medical officer of the Howard University Faculty Practice Plan, and chair of the Department of Pathology. Before joining Howard, he served as chief medical examiner for Washington, D.C. from 2014 to 2021, and is later as interim deputy mayor for the Public Safety and Justice. Mitchell has conducted and managed thousands of autopsies and is nationally recognized for his work at the intersection of medicine, public health, and justice. And for this case, we sought out the very best, and we are proud to be working with the very best.
He talked about the second autopsy performed on Nolan Wells revealed marked decompensation or changes. Marked decompensation can obscure the presence and absence of bruising on the skin surface, especially during a second autopsy examination. What he's saying, because the body was so decomposed that you couldn't tell if there was bruises or abrasions on the body when he received it on the 10th of July. He says, however, dissection of the back of the head during the layered posterior neck dissection revealed a 12 by 8 inch focal area of red discoloration in the deep soft tissues overlaying the occipital bone. And he talked about how he found red discoloration when he cut open into the back of his head towards the occipital bone, and he saw the red discoloration, and we actually saw the pictures of it. It's significant. You can't help but notice, why is this dark red here in the back of his head? And so he was important to note that in his report. He said that etiology of this finding is unclear. There are no lacerations of the overlaying skin nor fractures of the underlying skull. These findings are inconclusive for perimortem injury due to both the extensive decomposition and the absence of associated injuries. This finding, however, is significant enough to be highlighted in this preliminary report for further investigation. It is important to reiterate that the finding could not have been observed in the first autopsy because the posterior head and neck dissection were not performed.
Y'all pretty much having a good time. Just like anybody would imagine, 18-year-olds, probably 20-year-olds, college students, out on the island, women. You probably had alcohol, so y'all having a good time.
Yeah, of course.
And so where's Nolan in this? You know, you guys out there, the friend groups are out there, 3 boats full of people that came out there that seem to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where's Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, you know, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. They in a group. I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, you know, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, you know, over there. Like, I mean, it was just a regular thing. You know, we're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, you know, every weekend. Like, I fish the islands. I don't just, you know, fish around Horn Island. I fish around Ship Island too. So I'm very familiar with the islands, and I feel like it was just a big, I talked to Nolan, and, you know, Nolan was drinking. Everybody was drinking, most of everybody. And I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations, and, you know, Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon, Nolan and my buddy James, Nolan. And I mean, I could tell you, I mean, I talked to Nolan a couple times, but it wasn't like I was strictly sitting there talking to Nolan the whole day. I mean, there was hundreds of people I knew out there.
I want y'all to go and look at something real quick. Go back on that footage where that lady was showing the island, Horn Island. Now you can cut the music or the sound for her. Just play the B-roll of this. Pause it right there. I want to put this in perspective real quick, because this is something that I thought was happening. I'd never been to Horn Island. I don't know what this place looked like. The way that the family and Benjamin Crump them are making it sound like Nolan went with a few friends to this little island, and that's the only people that were there. And then all of a sudden they come back and he gone. But when you look at it, play it. When you look at what this looked like, there's a whole bunch of people out there. You're talking, this is like thousands of people out here. You got hundreds all along the coastline. And so when they leave and Nolan is still there, he's not by himself. He's there with a whole bunch of people. And so to act like they went and did something to Nolan and then left him and tried to hide it all, that ain't passing the smell test no more. And I'm going to say this real quick because you will find out very soon, in my opinion, that the narrative that's out there is just not true. And there's a lot of people that know it's not true, but they won't stand up and say nothing about it.
Heard a few people mention Brandon Tatum before, and I never gave a fuck to search. But after seeing this video last night, I can understand why motherfuckers don't fuck with him.
With you, just from a law enforcement perspective, what do you make of the timeline, the lack of answers, what maybe occurred here?
Well, I think the first thing is that these activists came in and brought in information or lies about circumstances to make people question. The law enforcement officers have already done an autopsy. They've already investigated. There's no sign of foul play. And one thing that's very interesting that I just found out recently is that it wasn't a situation where you have Nolan Wells and 4 other kids at an island. There's thousands of people there. There's hundreds of different boats. So him staying behind while some of his other friends went back to the mainland wasn't that suspicious. I really wish that the family would focus on Nolan Wells' life, focus on the investigation, and let the police do their job instead of interjecting race into this situation. It is completely unnecessary to be there at this point.
Who in the fuck is this nigga? They say he was a cop? Like, how can you not suspect foul play when none of the people that was present can agree on what the fuck actually happened? Or the fact that one person said he went back and another person said he stayed on the island. The fact that his cell phone messages got deleted the day that his body was discovered. Or the fact that if he did stay behind, why didn't he have his phone? Even though his mom and dad told him to always stay with your group. This picture right here tells 1,000 words. And just cause you fuck with one, don't mean you will ever be one. Count me out.
This trip to Horn Island was supposed to be a fun holiday celebration, and this morning there is new video emerging that may possibly show Nolan Wells on the day that he disappeared. TMZ is posting this video that they say was taken on Horn Island on July 4th, the last day that the 18-year-old was seen alive. Now, NBC News was able to match the location to previously verified video of the island from that day, and in the clip, it appears to show a man standing on the back of a boat, bending over. The boat in the video is not the one that Nolan took to the island that day. The man's face here is never seen, but the shorts he's wearing are similar to shorts Nolan had in other pictures from that day. We do know that 2 people who knew Nolan believe that it could be him, but they say they are not certain about that. TMZ is reporting that the video was dropped off at the Jackson County Sheriff's Office and that investigators are aware of it. We also know that several celebrities, are now offering a $125,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction in this case.
Breaking news, y'all. This is a quick update on the Nolan Wells situation. See, they always say it's 2 sides to every story.
Like I said, someone is going to jail, man. Be looking for the grand jury to be handing down indictments in this Nolan Wells case now. There's a witness. That's right. There's a witness that has come forth. And this witness is credible. As a matter of fact, this witness is a friend of all of these individuals, right? And what this witness said is that there was a fight with Nolan, right? But it wasn't at Horn Island like everyone thinks, right? These kids went back to a friend's house for a pool party. Now, the kid's mom was well aware of this pool party going on at their residence, right? Because when the fight broke out, after the fight was over with, the mother ordered everyone to leave. Now, I want to know, why didn't they make this mother give a statement? Now, this witness also said that the fight was over Nolan's phone. And these guys beat Nolan up. His friends, some guys that he thought he could trust, beat him up, and they also were recording. So one of these kids should have that video on their phone. Now, will we see it? I don't know. I don't think so. But again, I want you guys to chime in and let us know, because the witness also said that they were drunk and they were high. These kids, right? They even offered some young ladies that was at the party some of the shit that they was on. And they said after the mother came out and ordered everybody to leave, Nolan was still in the pool by the basketball goal, gasping for air, coughing up blood, asking for his mother. That's right, his mother. Now, man, God sits high, man, and it's all kind of twist to this case, but everything is going to come out. I'm pretty sure that after all the evidence, because it's still an ongoing investigation now, after all the evidence has been looked over, I'm pretty sure they're going to hand down indictments for these individuals at this party. So you guys chime in and let me know what you think about this case. Peace. I'm out.